A very common fear among leaders, among everyone in general, really, is the fear of failure. Nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants to get up in the morning and say, oh man, I hope I fail big today. Nobody wants to do that. Who wants to fail? You get embarrassed. It could be wasting resources. At worst, it could be harmful. People could get hurt, maybe even die. So, a lot of people fear failure. I fear failure. But failure doesn't necessarily have to be feared. A professor and researcher at Harvard Business School, Amy Edmondson, identified three types of failure. There's preventable failure, like running out of gas. It's preventable. We have a gas gauge. We've all done it. I ran out of gas when I was a college student, studying for an anatomy exam, came home that night with a sheep brain in a Tupperware container. I was studying for my anatomy test on the cranial nerves and should have gotten gas as I now get in the morning. And started the car the next morning, tried to start the car the next morning, and I was out of gas. And I had to run to the test. Literally, I lived about a mile away from school, so I had to run with this sheep brain sloshing around in my Tupperware. Preventable failure. We have a gas gauge, shouldn't happen. Then there's complex failure, sometimes called the Swiss cheese model. You know, Swiss cheese slices have holes in it. Imagine several slices of Swiss cheese, and through random chance, the holes on all the slices of the cheese line up so that there's a hole. Bad things happen. I think of the Sherpas who guide people to the summit of Mount Everest regularly. These are some of the smartest, most cunning mountain climbers ever, these Sherpas, and yet there are accidents that happen regularly because of this Swiss cheese model. Perfect storm. Nobody could have called it. It's a complex failure. Nobody saw this coming. The third type of failure, though, that Amy Edmondson identified is called intelligent failure. How do you fail intelligently? How is that done? Well, I think there are three steps to failing intelligently. First step is clearly define the what and the why. Clearly define the what and the why. What are we doing? What is the objective? What is the goal? What is the problem? What is the issue? What is the hurdle? What is the opportunity? The leader's job always is to clearly define what it is we're doing. And secondly, the second part of a leader's job is to clearly define why this is important. Why are we taking our time? Why are we taking our energy? Why are we taking our resources to look at this issue? So, first step in failing intelligently, clearly define the what and the why. Second step, gather the right people together. It could be gathered on camera like we're doing today. Gather the right people together and insist on debate. Insist on debate and looking at this issue from as many sides as you possibly can so that you can see all the different angles, uncover some hidden things that you might not have thought about before. What are all the things that we should take into account? And if it still seems good, then you make a plan and you execute the plan. Now, if you fail at accomplishing what you wanted to accomplish, you can at least learn from it. And in fact, as leaders, if we're not failing, we're probably not trying new things. We're probably not taking advantage of opportunities or seeing how to take advantage of an opportunity. So we should be failing, but we should be failing intelligently following those three steps. Clearly define the what and the why. Gather the right people together, insisting on debate. If it still seems like a good idea, make a plan and then execute the plan. So, I would like you to name something that you've been meaning to try. It could be at work, it could be in your personal life. Name something you have been meaning to try, and I would like you to follow those three steps. Clearly define the problem, clearly define the what and the why, gather the right people together so that you know what's happening and what all the issues are going to be or might potentially be. And if it still seems good, make a plan. I'm Bill Werner. This is Leadership Made Clear. Visit my website, billonleadership.com. Like it, follow it, leave a comment. We can have a discussion. Most importantly, pick something and fail intelligently today.